How's it going, mates? Right from the bat, press the like button and write in the comments below which Champions League games you're planning to watch today. And while you're typing, we proceed to begin. Inter Milan announced that 34-year-old Gonzalo Higuain intends to retire from football after the 2022 MLS season. Federico Chiesa is making good progress with the recovery from the injury and has already taken part in training with the first team. Neymar was unable to vote in Brazil's presidential election as he did not receive voting status in Europe. He declared his support for Bolsonaro. Before the match kicked off, the captains of Juventus and Bologna, Leonardo Bonucci and Roberto Soriano, swapped FIFA 23 discs for PlayStation 5, although they usually give each other the pennants of their teams. Manchester City are close to extending Phil Foden's contract until 2027. Olympique Lyon have suffered 4 consecutive defeats in Ligue 1 for the first time since February to March 1991. L'Équipe rated Erling Haaland's performance in the Manchester Derby with a perfect 10 out of 10 rating. Earlier on, only 13 footballers in the history of the French newspaper were given such a high score. AC Milan midfielder Alexis Saelemaekers will be out of action for around 6 to 8 weeks, recovering from a partially torn medial collateral ligament. Sevilla and Valencia are interested in the services of Manchester United striker Anthony Martial, according to Todo Fichajes. Current Sevilla head coach Julen Lopetegui could soon be in charge of Wolverhampton Wanderers, if the Telegraph Insider is to be believed. Real Madrid starting 11 goalie Thibaut Courtois will not be involved in the Champions League group stage match week 3 game against Shakhtar Donetsk due to him picking a back injury. Inter could have signed Paulo Dybala as a free agent last summer, but Simone Inzaghi was against this transfer. Frankie de Jong, Hector Bellerin, Memphis Depay, Jules Koundé and Ronald Araujo are all withdrawn from the Barcelona squad for the match against Inter Milan due to injuries. Simone Inzaghi could be sacked soon, but his future will depend on the outcomes of the next 2 fixtures against Barcelona and Sassuolo. After losing to Atletico Madrid, Sevilla concluded that it's time to look for a replacement for their manager, Julen Lopetegui. PSG midfielder from Portugal, Renato Sanchez, will not help the Red and Blues against Benfica due to injury. Luka Modric will be able to play against Shakhtar in the Champions League, as he will have enough time to recover from an injury he sustained in the national team. Real Madrid midfielder Dani Ceballos will not be given a contract renewal with the club, eventually leaving Madrid on a free agent basis next summer, unless he impresses Los Blancos management. Manchester United are still tracking PSV winger Cody Gakpo and will try to sign him in the next winter's transfer window. Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic has caught the attention of both Chelsea and Arsenal, informs Il Bianconero. According to Nicolas Kira, Dejan Stankovic could soon become the head coach of Sampdoria. UEFA President Alexander Ceferin announced that he would run for another term next year. Barcelona were interested in bringing Arsenal defender William Saliba to Camp Nou, in case negotiations for Koundé fell through. Pedro Martins could become new Wolverhampton head coach, Nicolas Kira notifies. Defender Evan Ndika and midfielder Daichi Kamada have received contract extension offers from Eintracht Frankfurt, and both players are likely to accept those. Erling Haaland scored 103 goals in his first 100 appearances in Europe's major leagues. Yes, we can improve. We can play exactly the same and do better. That is already a fix, Jurgen Klopp said ahead of the Rangers game. If you look at the statistics, you see Barca undeservedly lost to Bayern Munich. For me, Barca is one of the strongest teams in the world, alongside Bayern and Man City. They play the best football right now, Inter Milan boss Simone Inzaghi told the media. Rafael van der Vaart has described Erik ten Hag's decision to start Scott McTominay over Casemiro in Sunday's 6-3 defeat against Manchester City as stupid. Inter play with 2 strikers, which is not usual in La Liga. Inter have a very different formation compared to the teams we've played this season, Xavi noted. Naby Keita, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Curtis Jones remain injured. Calvin Ramsey has returned to training but is not yet match fit. Andy Robertson and Ibrahima Konate are doubtful for the game against Rangers. Ten Hag halts contract talks with Ronaldo, De Gea, Rashford, Dalot, Shaw and Fred. Real Madrid have not yet sent any extension offers to Dani Ceballos and Marco Asensio. The contracts of both players expire at the end of the season. The algorithm from 538 has updated their predictions for the 2022-23 La Liga season. They expect Barcelona and Real Madrid to finish level on points with 84 each. However, the Catalans are expected to win the league on goal difference, plus 54 versus plus 48. Real Madrid want to hear a definitive answer from Toni Kroos regarding his future by February. The midfielder's current contract expires at the end of the season. Among other things, yesterday we saw 3 major European Leagues matches. Here are the results. Inter Miami are eager to compete for several football celebrities in order to compete for the league title in 2023. Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets and Lionel Messi are being considered perfect candidates. Earlier on, it was already reported that Busquets may pursue his career path at Inter Miami after his contract with the Catalans comes to an end. Messi is currently focused on the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, where Argentina is seen as one of the favorites. Suarez, on the other hand, was already close to joining MLS when he left Atletico, but then decided to return to Nacional. The president of the club has already confirmed that the striker will become a free agent in November. The management of Real Madrid doesn't consider it acceptable for third parties to mention the merengues in their comments with a purpose to draw themselves more attention. This is how Los Blancos reacted to the interview of Kylian Mbappe, who did not rule out the possibility of performing for Real in the future. The same applies to Erling Haaland's father, who stated that Madrid were number 3 on his son's priorities list. Real saw these acts as a way of using the club in order to make headlines. Real Madrid striker Karim Benzema is considered the main favorite for the 2022 Ballon d'Or. The 34-year-old Frenchman is expected to win the individual award by a record-breaking margin over the other contenders. The Ballon d'Or ceremony will be held on October 17th. Christopher Nkunku's move to Chelsea is pretty much done and dusted, according to club source David Orstein. The Athletics correspondent claims that Chelsea have bidden the competition from other top Premier League clubs to sign the RB Leipzig forward. Earlier, it was reported that Nkunku has signed a pre-contract agreement with Chelsea. It's understood that the Blues will need to pay slightly more than £52.5 million release clause for the Frenchman to ensure he'll join the club next summer. Barcelona are reportedly monitoring Marcus Rashford's contract situation at the moment with a view to a potential deal. Sport reports that Xavi wants the deal done, as he is a fan of the Englishman. According to Mundo Deportivo, Rashford has already agreed on a deal with Barcelona once before, in 2018. If anything, it may be easier to re-agree with another deal. The Catalan outfit are slightly more flushed with cash after pulling various economic levers during the summer, while Rashford might have reduced demands, having fallen out of favor in the England setup and being keen to reignite his career. Although a switch to Spain looks unlikely, it's being reported that Rashford could be tempted by the offer. According to Le Parisien, Leo Messi is much happier in Paris Saint-Germain now and isn't opposed to the idea of extending his contract. However, his entourage assures that he is yet to receive an offer from the Parisians or any other club. Messi's current contract with PSG expires at the end of the season. Barcelona considered the possibility of signing him as a free agent next summer, with both the club and Xavi seeing his return as a benefit. Messi received 3 approaches: PSG, Barcelona, and a club from MLS. But Messi's response was, "I don't want to talk now." He's focused on the pitch, PSG, and the World Cup. The talks will start from January. Folks, check out the new video from our football club project and find out why Spain can succeed at the World Cup. Have a great time watching. It was Football News. Have a nice one, and see you in a bit.